All right. Hello, world. What's up? My name's Jonathan Brewer, and welcome to my channel. I heard a quote recently, read a quote from Walt Disney, and it says, the best way to get started is to quit talking and start doing. And so here I am. I've been talking about doing a YouTube channel of some kind, or doing videos and reviewing tech products and all that stuff for years now. And I've always, worked up the, I'll create the channel and then don't actually ever film anything and all that. So I'm at this point where I just got to do it, or I'm never going to do it. And so here I am, and I'm gonna do it. We're gonna get started. So this channel is primarily, I'm gonna focus on consumer technology, Apple products, Google products, Microsoft products, Nest, Tesla, whatever, anything consumer technology that I want to talk about or feel I can help somebody in some way. I'm going to talk about it and give my thoughts, have opinions on things, and if it can help somebody in some way out there, then I hope it does that. So we're going to kick this off, get this channel started. We're going to take a look at an iPod Touch, actually. It's the iPod Touch 7th generation, and I'm excited to get started, and let's jump into it. Let's go. Apple's been making these things for a long time. I remember the first iPod Touch when it came out. Had that classic iPod, glossy, like not glass, but it was like this glossy silverback that you guys might remember from the old iPods, and didn't have a camera, nothing. But what was cool is that it had that multi-touch screen, just like the iPhone, and it was neat in that it could also download all the apps and all those same things, and you could obviously, the whole idea was for you to listen to your music and all that stuff. So all these years later, Apple's still making the iPod Touch, and still a great device for a lot of different reasons. So let's go ahead, let's unbox this thing and go from here. So find the tape. One of the things I always like about Apple is they always take the time to think about the whole unboxing experience, right? So there's this little green sticker there, it tells you where to peel it. Flip that back. And then the whole idea, go ahead and pop this guy out, set that over there for a second. So we got designed by Apple, California. Got your get started, little quick start guide. Comes with just the cable and the all important earpods. Not AirPods, look just like AirPods, but these are just the earpods. So that's what it comes with. No charging brick. So that was one of the things. I guess they're trying to. Obviously, this iPod is a 32 gig iPod. It's $199 is what it retails for, and I just thought it was interesting. It doesn't actually come with the wall charger, so still need to get the wall charger. I would say I wish it was included. I think it's one of those things where it's like, okay, how am I supposed to charge this thing? I guess you could plug it into your computer if you have one. But would have liked to have seen an actual little, at least a 5-watt charger or something. So anyway, let's go ahead, set that stuff off to the side. And go ahead so this front here is actually just a sticker. So the idea is that you peel that sticker off, and then the iPod actually comes out. So one of the cool things about these iPod Touches still is they do these really cool backs. That blue iPod back. It is aluminum, and and I just think they look great still. You know, just like the iPhone 11 or iPhone 10R that's out now. You know, they incorporated some colors again, but the iPod Touches have been doing colors for a long time. I want to say there's pink, there's black, red, I think some other colors, blue obviously, but really cool colors. I think they look really nice. So on the iPod itself, you have a camera here, and you got your volume up, volume down, LED flash right there. On the bottom, that's your lightning charger, speaker, headphone jack, one of the few Apple devices still with a dedicated headphone jack, so that's cool to see. You got your front-facing camera on the front there, and then your power button on top. And man, this iPod, look how thin that is. This has got to be probably the thinnest device Apple probably makes, even like thinner than like, you know, any of the iPhones certainly or anything else. It's got to be the thinnest iPod or just device Apple makes right now. So let's go ahead and power this guy on. So, you know, this iPod, just some thoughts as it's booting up here, is really a good value. You know, for $199, it's super easy. It makes sense for like, you know, I have kids, so it makes sense for kids. You're looking to get their first device. You don't necessarily want to get them a phone yet, though. Maybe an iPad. A lot of people will go iPad. I think the thing that's nice about the iPods is that it's still so portable. You know, it's only a 4-inch screen. The screen's still only a 4-inch. It is still a nice Retina display, it's super thin, super light. It's got cameras on the front and back, so you know people can take pictures, all that sort of thing. Still has, you know, the regular home button, so super easy to navigate. Kids pick it up really easy, and yeah, you know, it's still, once you sign into like your Apple account, you can still do messages anytime you're connected to Wi-Fi or hotspot. You can do FaceTime calls, any of the apps still supported. Group FaceTime calls, all those sorts of things. You can do all that on the iPod still. And the other cool thing that now is with Apple Arcade that just came out, and also you know, Apple Music, those sorts of services. You don't really need a whole lot of storage anymore, honestly, on the actual device. Yeah, you know, you'll need to download the games for Apple Arcade, and you might want to download some music for trips or movies or that sort of thing. But generally, like day to day, you really don't need too much storage on there. But it's something to consider if you're worried about it all. They do have higher storage options. So I'll go ahead and set this up. And let's take a look. So here's what I was saying about earlier, that super nice blue color, the aluminum back with the logo shimmering in the light there. I mean, Apple knows how to do it, right? So I got this booted up, I got the basic setup out of the way, and let's go ahead and actually take a look at you know, the operating system. So iOS, you know, has been around for a long time now, and it's super easy to navigate, super easy to use. The iPod Touch in specific is really great. You know, here's the apps that it boots out with out of the box. If you need any tips, tricks, figure out how to do, you know, what's new and all that sort of thing. They've got a great tips app in here. But just kind of running through some of the apps here. You got FaceTime in the top left there, calendar, photos, camera, messages in the bottom left there, App Store, Apple TV, weather, all those basic apps. But The thing that's great about the iPod Touch 7th gen in specific is Apple put an A10 processor, which is it's not the newest processor that's out there. I want to say like the iPhone 11, they're up to the A13 chip, and like the iPhone 10R has the A12 and all that sort of stuff. So it is a couple years old, the actual chip itself, but the one that was in here previously in the 6th generation iPod was the actual A8 chip. So it definitely bumps and boosts performance, you know, makes going in and out of apps a lot smoother, easier to use, all that stuff. And so rounding out my thoughts here on the iPod Touch 7th generation, you know, it's again, it's something that primarily I think makes sense for certain situations. You know, if you have kids, or just again looking not necessarily to get a phone, or mainly just wanting still an iPod. You know, I think it's a good buy, and something that makes sense even for like games or just listening to music in general, all that sort of thing. So so that's the iPod, and that's this video. You know, in general, I'm just excited to get going on this thing. It's for anyone who's actually watched this whole thing. Sincerely, thank you very much. You know, I'm gonna definitely keep making videos on different things I have, and seeing how this goes. And if you have any constructive feedback or comments or anything like that, please leave a comment. I'll respond back on all of them. And you know, if you're interested in seeing more videos from me, definitely subscribe. I would appreciate that. And you know, leave a like if you liked it. And you know, I'm anxious to see what some people think, and see how many people actually look through this video. So anyway, you know, I'm excited. I can't wait to make some more videos and look at some other things and give you my opinion. So thanks again. I really look forward to it, and we'll go from here. See ya.